Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Have a blessed and peace, joy, love, appreciation, respect, and forgiveness. Last week, Dan, one of my favorites, students of the week, biomedical engineering, which is unbelievable, Destin Wade, ethnic studies. This week is Khalil Benson, sociology, and Charlie Orfalo, as usual, developmental biology. TV with Arizona game announced for Fox. That gives us 6 games on network television this season. Through 5 games, we're number 2 nationally. Most viewership with 21.5 viewers. We're the only team through week 5 in the top 5 games of every week. Defensive buffs, giving up just 7 points in the third quarter this season, and just 5.2 points per game in the second half. CU is one of the 6 teams in the nation that has not allowed 100-yard rusher or receiver this season after allowing 14 last year. Good Lord Jesus. God, that is staggering. PFF grades, Sammy, BJ Arden, all rank in the top 10 in the Big 12, which I don't know what PFF really is. I don't know who really looks at it. Nikhil Green ranked second. I don't know what they, I'm not going to even bore you with that. Jordan Seaton named to the On 3, which is one of the publications that's not one of my favorites. He's a freshman All-American team. Micah leads all true freshmen. 3 rushing touchdowns. I thought we don't recruit guys out of high school. My bad. Shador named to mid-season. No, I'm not going to do that because you're going to see I'm talking about my son. Travis, not going to do that because he's just like my son. Anyway, glad to be here. Great walk. Campus is beautiful. Hospitality is great when you're winning. We all know that. But love where we are, but we're not comfortable by any means. Let's go. Ladies first.
Thank you, Jordan.
Hi, Coach. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. With the news with Woods and Brown opting for a red shirt, has anyone had that conversation with you of having a red shirt?
Yeah.
Could you say
several guys? You got to understand it. I understand it, and I always want what's best for the kids. I really do. Like, that's their prerogative. But you know, it kind of puts us in a situation because now is there a question? Are you redshirting for us, or are you redshirting for you? And it should be NCAA rules and guidelines that if you choose that particular course, not that our guys are, we should be able to allow you to go. Because if a guy's redshirting for himself and he don't plan on being here, why would you want him here and he don't plan on being here? That's really not fair to him. It's not fair to his teammates. It's a lot of unfairness, like the gentleman who chose the red shirt, the quarterback. So is it right that he's still practicing or with the team? Like, what course of action is that? Does he? I don't know. Does he? You guys tell me. Does he still practice?
He's not. No.
So you just let him walk away. It should be something. It needs to be a rule NCAA-wise to, if that's your course of action, they should let them go and start their next journey with the whatever team that is that they've already been talking to, because they've already been talking. Just like the 2 guys from that we played several weeks ago, Colorado State. They said they were offered how much in the portal?
600.
How you offered 600 and you didn't get in the portal? Why can none of y'all ask that question? How are you offered 600,000 but you didn't get in the portal? I got time today. All right, let's move on.
Taylor, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Taylor Smith.
Taylor, how you doing?
Doing great. How about you, sir?
Wonderful.
Fantastic. So bye weeks are fantastic to get your boys' bodies rested, all that kind of good stuff.
Yes.
As well. But for you as a head coach, how does that just like for you fundamentally into as well?
I go to Texas, which is vacation for me. I go and really relax and recalibrate my mind. And the staff knows that been with me. They know when I get back is home. They know when I get back, I got a list of like 30 things that I want implemented expeditiously. They know I'm calling while I'm gone, and I'm gearing up. I want videos, I want this, I want that. So it's tougher on the coaches when I get away, because I come back with so much more passion, you know. than I already have, and that's a lot of passion. So I love it, but I wish you could continue to play in the realm that we were playing in, but also we had some guys banged up that needed a week off, for sure. So I'm happy about it. Ryan, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
What's going on?
Last week, what's up, man? How are you? You talked last week about the UCF game and how the extra hours and time in the hotel led to extra film hours.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that can be a kind of like an aha moment for the players, understanding how that can affect them on Saturdays?
Most definitely. It's a moment that they definitely glean from. See, most people think you only learn from your losses, but you learn a lot from your wins. You learn a lot from successes. You don't just learn from when you're getting your butt kicked. I never seen a boxer get knocked out and say, I learned a lot from that, right? Like, you don't, that does not happen most of the time. And these young men they understand. I asked them a question this morning, if God were to give you what you desired in this game, what would it be? And what would you sacrifice for it? Great question. And their answer, the responses and all that I was trying to get them to understand that whatever you want in life, you're gonna have to sacrifice something. If you want a lot, you're gonna sacrifice a lot. It's not you sacrifice a little and you get a lot. It don't work like that. Life don't work like that. Life is pretty much consistent, tremendously. And football has no feelings or emotions for you. So what you put in, normally you get out.
Jason, go ahead.
Hey guys, good morning.
How you doing, sir?
Jason Jones, Sports Illustrated. Since your win against UCF, there've been a lot of national media people, some of which you know personally, have sort of changed their tune on what you and this program can do this year. Mm-hmm. Do you guys notice that, or is noise, whether it's good or bad?
I notice it because I get it from everywhere. I really don't care, honestly, because as quick as they jump on, they can jump off. As quick as they support, they can try to dismantle. As quick as they love, they can hate. So I really don't get into that. I know who it is for my purposes. I definitely know who said what for my purposes. And my sons and Darius and all those guys who reach the people. I mean, they and Neely also, they know. You know, they keep me abreast of what time it is, so I know what's what. But as far as the young men, I just don't want them to believe that they arrived. All this hoopla about Jordan Seaton, I say, Jordan, you know, a couple plays they could have had you right there. Our DBs, you know, if they threw the ball right there, they had us. So don't believe that foolishness. Work on your game and work on your craft. Be the best you can be, but don't believe the hype whatsoever. Let's keep our heads down and stay locked in.
Go ahead.
Hey Coach, Packer, I'm Associated Press. Nice to see you. Real quick, a procedural question.
Love your hat, man. Love your hat.
Well, exactly. George Brett did.
George Brett, I grew up on George Brett.
That's what you
I
should.
grew up Terry Park.
100%.
I was hustling balls in the third grade. Third grade. I used to skip school, bring my little sock. I used to beat everybody running when they hit the home run balls, and I used to get the balls, and I used to sell them during the game.
Really?
That was my hustle. I used to always make sure I brought the teacher my best ball with an autograph. I used to sit out there when they came out there out of the clubhouse, and I would get their autographs. And I would beg for crack bats. Crack bats was like $10 or $15. You know, good home run ball and BP was like $3.50, $1.50 bat ball. Amos Otis, I used to go down there in the batting cages and help him pick up the balls. I used to be standing on the gate, little kid, you know, darn 7, 8 years old, and he used to let me come in, and I helped him get up the balls and pick up the balls, and he would give me several of them, and that was my hustle, man. So George Brett, Amos Otis, Willie Wilson, all those guys was my guy. And to top the story off, I was drafted by the Kansas City Royals out of high school.
Really?
Dick Hauser was the manager. Dick Hauser is the one, the late great Dick Hauser was the one that said, son, if you're good enough for us to draft you right now, I hear you're a pretty good football player. I would go to college and we'll draft you again. And that's why I went and played football, because they offered me a substantial amount of money, even though I wasn't an early round pick. But there's a lot of money from a kid that grew up 2 miles from the place in the hood.
Wow.
So that's my story about the Royals.
You and Bo Jackson have been perfect.
Amen. I don't think they'll let that happen, but.
And Shiloh, what's the
He's ready. Shiloh's ready. He's practicing. He's full go. Has a rubber cast on. He's doing his thing. I can't wait to see him back there, because he and Cam they're unbelievable together. Carter has done a wonderful job, got a lot of experience, and he's in on some packages as well, but Shiloh's full go. We should have the entire starting defense this week.
And then to kind of piggyback off this question.
Yes, sir.
Can you take any lessons from 3-0 last year and apply to 4-1 this year?
Two different teams, two different situations, two whole different thought processes, even with the staff, as well as the young men we have in this locker room. But yes, me personally, it's some things that I've done tremendously differently in my approach and to detail with the staff, as well as the young men that play on this team, as well as with the support staff as well. So we had a 6:30 meeting this morning to reiterate some things that I wanted to see on the scout teams to give us the look that we wanted and expedite the look. So yes, there has been different things from my approach, definitely. But those are totally different young men that's out there, man. What we have on defense, I think, what is it, 2 players, 3 players that started a year ago? I think that's Cam, Shiloh, and Benson, right? Coach.
Travis.
Yeah, 4. I'm sorry. That's it. So we have several new players that are really doing a great job for us. And offense, what is it? 2? Travis. Jimmy, 3. That's it. I love it.
Hey Coach, Jack Harlow with Buffalo's Wires Gun.
Jack Harlow.
We saw a video of you earlier this week telling your team that you guys shouldn't be surprised that you're 4-1.
Right.
I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more on that message and why you felt the need to share it.
How can you be surprised that you're winning in life, Jack? How can you be surprised that you put on a nice outfit and somebody tells you look good? How can you be surprised when you get out that hair in that barbershop and you look in that mirror and say, that's the one? Like, how can you be surprised with the expectation you have for yourself? The only way you can be surprised is you didn't expect it. We expect the results when we put in the work. I just don't want it going to their heads, but we should be surprised of where we are. We should be appreciative and understanding what allowed us to be where we are, but it should be no surprise to you. So when it's a surprise, you get kind of discombobulated and you kind of take things wrong instead of really looking at it and dissecting why you are where you are. It shouldn't be no surprise to anybody, but I don't want them to be in lackadaisical thinking this is easy, because the wind don't care who attains it. Has no mind, no memory, no whatsoever. Does not care. So it might as well be us. It has no care and no feelings for it.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, John Trees, I do. A slightly different question. 4-1 is an uncommon place, and everything is out there for you, conference-wise and beyond. To have that right now, I mean, how exciting is that within your program?
It's not. You don't expect it. I can tell the way you asked the question, but we do. We expect that. We're some of us are still upset about the Nebraska game. We wish we had that right now, because we felt like we weren't where we are then, where we are right now. Like, we really expect that. It's not being cocky or anything like that. That's what we expect. When we practice like we do, prepare like we do, we expect the results. And we have some players that can really play this game at a high level. That's why scouts are here every day. We just happen to have 2 that, like I said previously, will probably be in the top 2 or the top 5 draft picks. And everybody disputed that, didn't they? Did some? I can't get no help in the church over here. Some help over here in the church. I know not to look at that style anymore. They disputed that. Hey, he don't know what he's talking about. Now, it is what it is. You start seeing this stuff become a reality. It's real. We didn't speak it into existence. We know what we see. I know this game. You got to give me some kind of credit for knowing this game of football. I played it for 14 years. I covered it for 20 years. I covered it more than some of you guys have covered it. And I know television, I know this game, I know people, I know management, I know what my expectation is, I know how this thing is supposed to look. So I call a spade a spade. Great question. Appreciate it.
Hey there.
How you doing, sir?
Mark Kislett, Denver Gazette. I'll follow up on something you just said. You have 3 of the top 10 players in college football, and Travis is 2 of them. That's
well said.
So now I'm going to go beyond that. We've seen from Travis things that we've seldom seen in college football.
True.
We saw from you in baseball and football things we seldom have seen from an athlete. Is Travis more talented as an athlete than you?
It's not me against Travis. I have my turn, man. I'm not a doorknob anymore. You can't just turn me on and off like a light switch anymore. I don't do that. Travis is everything. It's his turn now. I want him to have all the accolades, all the praise, all the love, all the attention, all the focus that he desires. I've had my turn. I'm that old boxing coach in the corner. It says left, right, hit him right here. All right, come over up to the corner. Let me tell you this. That's who I am right now. I've had my turn. It's not me against him.
Do you see some of
I see similarities in certain areas, especially away from the game. Especially his demeanor away from the game. I absolutely love it. And I love who he is in the game. We don't smoke, we don't drink, we're not profane. Travis is a really, really, really good young man. A really good young man. Contrary to what you may think, and this is not a shot at any other program, and God forbid that it transpires, but our kids ain't getting in trouble, man. We got some good young men in this locker room. And I think they should be applauded, regardless of what you say or think about them, regardless of how they perform or how they don't perform this week. They get it right and perform the next week. And they're not getting into trouble. And guess what? The GPAs are tremendous. I just checked them and got on a couple of their butts. But they're doing a great job, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the coaches, and I'm proud of the academic team for the standard that they've set. And we are on our way to where we're headed. And I love the direction. I truly do. Tremendously. Not talking about any other college. Just talking about us. I don't need to step on somebody for us to perform. Never done that when I played, and I won't do it now.
Jake, go ahead.
Coach Ryan, speaking of one of those young men, Nikhil Green, just how would you describe his impact, on the field, but as a leader for this team as well?
We have a plethora of leaders on that defensive side of the ball, which is a good thing. He's one of them. I cannot praise him without praising Bentley as well. Those guys is like they have a silent competition amongst one another to see who gets to the ball the quickest, to see who racks up the most tackles. Those guys are at it. Both of them are a little banged up, but guess what? They fight through it in practice. I try to give them days off, and they still want to work. So his impact on this defense is tremendous. I love the tone. I love the temperament, the aggressiveness, the physicality. I love what he brings to the table, as well as the intellect and insight.
Couple more, Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell for Boulder.
What's going on?
I have a question and a follow-up, but you mentioned you guys are different now than Nebraska. It does seem like you guys are different from starting when you came out of halftime at Nebraska. How much joy do you get out of seeing this team kind of growing in confidence from that point to where you're at now?
Tremendous, because I've seen it well before, and I know coaches get upset because coaches and parents get upset because we know your capabilities. We know what you have inside of you, and we just want you to live out your purpose and what you should be doing. That's why parents get upset with some of y'all in here. And I get upset with some of my kids because of the same darn thing. Coaches are the same way. We're really parenting a football player out there on the field. And just to see them come into their own, just to see them execute the assignments, just to see them want it, just to see them call team meetings on their own and come out here on the practice field and work on their own without us, shoot, that's what you want. I mean, that's the kind of guys that you wanted to gather and call it the team. Those are the type of young men, and those are the men that we have. And yeah, we had to get rid of some luggage because, we had a limited time to go shopping. And I do mean shopping. And it's unfortunate that's what we do now in college football. Even with guys out of high school, you're shopping, and you hope that this outfit look good on you. Sometimes it don't when it gets in the light. So it's a good thing. We're happy where we are, but we're a long way from where we want to be.
And just a quick follow-up to that. With the bye, did you worry at all that the bye would kind of kill some momentum, or do you think this team came back eager to let's keep going?
Worry and faith can't live together. I'm a man of faith, not a man of worry.
Go ahead, Rylan. Last one.
Hey, Coach. Rylan Scholes from Rugby Report. You have the opportunity to play against one of the big contributors last year and a person you've known for a long time in Dylan Edwards. What is it going to be like to face off against Dylan as an opponent?
They changed their name to Dylan Edwards. That's what the team is called now, the Dylan Edwards. We ain't playing against Dylan Edwards. We're playing against a darn good football team, man. Dylan just happened to be on their team. I love the young man. I love him to life. I really do. And everybody who leaves here in the right manner, as well as just leave, period, I want them to be successful. I have never wished wrongful or bad things on any young man or woman in my life, or any of you all. I want you to be successful, and I want you to find your purpose. If you find your purpose and you understand what it is, you won't hate on me. You won't hate on your neighbor, your friend, or your family member. So Dylan made a tremendous choice for he and his family, and I support that 100%. I just hate when guys make those decisions and they leave and they shoot back at us. If you going where you're going, you don't shoot back because you're so focused on where you're headed. You ain't got time to turn around and shoot back. So I thank him for not being that guy. And we had some great moments, and he's going to have many more great moments, so I'm proud of him. I just don't want him to perform well against us, but I want him to perform well against every other team. I really do.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. God bless you all.